Hi everyone, this is Wafalango and welcome you all in Grammar in Detail. We are in the 15th kind of verb that is known as auxiliary verb, and we have already discussed in auxiliary verbs can, could, must, should, ought to, can, and today we are going to discuss the modal auxiliary verb could. I told you in my some of previous lectures that modal auxiliary verbs are studied in two categories. The first one is known as the primary level and the second is secondary level. As you know, in secondary level, we have already discussed them that we are going to learn there the percentage, the possibility, which we have already done. And I told you that possibility and the percentage of modal auxiliary verb could is 40%. And so for today, we are going to discuss it in primary level. In primary level, what is primary level? In primary level, we are going to discuss the usages of modal auxiliary verb. When we discuss the usages of modal auxiliary verbs, that level is called the primary level. Now, could definition we will discuss first, then we will move towards the usages. Could is a modal auxiliary verb, and what is modal auxiliary verb? I told you must, should, ought to, may, might, shall, should, will, would, used to are called the modal auxiliary verbs. In the same way, could is modal auxiliary verb and it is used for past ability. In past ability, whatever you had the ability in past, you will be discussing those. In the same way, present suggestion, present polite request, and present and future possibility, and granted permission. When you grant a permission, for that you'll be using modal auxiliary verb code. The usage number one we have got, that is past ability. Those abilities which you had in past, now you do not have those abilities, or you may have but you had it in past too. Like I say, he could help me, he had this ability in past to help me. And in the same way, I could speak English when I was 12. Now still I can speak, but I was having this ability when I was 12. And next is present suggestion. In present, when you suggest someone whom you suggest, but you think that he may mind it or something like, so you will just have it in a polite and respective way, where you feel that my possibility and my authority is just 40%. And you could say like this, you could act according to your wish. Now if he's someone is acting in someone else wish, so you will just suggest him, you could act according to your wish, and they could start a new business, or they may mind it or something like, but you are just having this suggestion in a polite way and in a respective way. Next we have got present polite request. And when you request someone for asking something like, could you type me this letter, could you type this letter for me, and next, could you bring me a glass of water. Now sometimes your elder brother or sister is standing near the water, but you think that I should not say, but even then you try, you say just, could you bring me a glass of water please. So polite and respectful way to ask someone good queries. Next, we have got present and future possibility that can be in present as well as in past. Like I say, it could rain today. It is known as for today, like your possibility is just 40%. You just predict it and you are just seeing the clouds in the sky. You say that it can rain anytime. So you'll say it could rain today and he could come tomorrow. Again, it is your possibility in future. Why? Because you just predict. And keep in your mind, could is not only used for past, but it can give the meaning over there in the usage for present and future, where I've written the examples. The first example, it could rain today, is having the possibility in present, and the second one is having it in next. Granted permission. When you are going to give a permission, so you could have this one like, on Sundays we could stay up late. This is a granted permission. And he could smoke in office, but that is a granted permission. Okay, hope you got the five usages of modal auxiliary verb: could, past ability, present suggestion, present polite request, present and future possibility, and last one, granted permission. As I told you, they are used in structures as well. So let's see how many structures can be used with the modal auxiliary verb could. Let's discuss them one by one. The first one we have got could have plus third form of the verb. What does it mean and where you are going to use this? Could have plus third form of the verb is used to say that someone had the ability to do something but he didn't do it. Now he had the ability to do it. Now what does it mean? Could have plus third form means he had the ability to do it but he didn't do it. Means he had the authority or the ability to do it. No one could stop him, but he didn't do it himself or herself. Like I say, he could have borrowed them money, but he didn't borrow himself because he had money that time and he had the authority to borrow as well, but he did not borrow them money. They could have been borrowed by him money, but he aims that what does it mean? It is the passive of the same. They could have been borrowed by him money. Next, the second example we have gotten, and that is known as I could have taught them grammar. Now I myself did not teach them, and I could have taught you grammar because the object is you there. So this one mistakenly written, and you could have been taught by me grammar. They could have supported their family members. They could have supported their family members, and their family members could have been supported by them, but they themselves didn't do this action. They had the authority to do, but they themselves did not do it in the past. And this is what we are talking about it in present. And the next example we have, their families could have been supported by them, the passive voice. Teacher could have punished you, but he himself did not punish you. He thought you may bring the change in your life and to be a good student in future. And passive of the same, you could have been punished by teacher. She could have baked a cake, but she didn't bake it herself because maybe she got another work or something like, or but she herself did not bake it. But reason can be anything. A cake could be baked by her. After that, we have got a topic. Now a question arises that could have plus third form or could plus first form of the verb, both are giving the sense of past. So how can we differentiate between the two, that where we are going to use that? Now the title is difference between could have plus third form of the verb and could plus first form of the verb. First we will discuss could have plus third form of the verb and then could plus first form. Now difference is could have plus third form of the verb is used to say that someone had the ability to do something but he didn't. Now see, the same person had the ability but he didn't do it himself. He had the authority, permission, all of the rights and all of the authorities, but he or she themselves did not do it. Whereas could plus first form of the verb is used for any general ability of past, whatever the ability someone had it in past. Now see, he could have beaten him, but he didn't beat him. Clear? But if I say he could beat him, he was that is an ability in past. Next, they could have insulted you and they could insult you. They could have insulted you. They had the authority, but they didn't insult you. Means they didn't insult you, and they could insult you. That is ability in past. I could have swum. This is an ability which they could do in past, but now they themselves didn't do it. I could have swum, that ability I was having in past, but I didn't do it myself in past. But if I say I could swim, that is the ability in past. I'm just talking about my past. In today's time, I'm not, maybe I'm not able to swim or something like. Teacher could have punished you. He had the authority, but he himself did not punish. and teacher could punish you. He was having this ability in past. She could have supported her husband, means she herself didn't support. She had a job as well. She could support her husband. She herself didn't do it. Means she was having the authority and everything, but she didn't do it. And in the same way, she could support her husband. This is an ability in past we are talking about. Let's discuss the next one. Difference between could not have and could not plus first form of the could not have plus third form and could not plus first form of the verb. Now the first difference I'm going to tell you. Could not have plus third form of the verb means someone didn't try to do a work. Even if he had tried to do it, he would not have been able to do it. Whereas, now what does it mean? Could not have plus third form of the verb means someone didn't try to do. Someone did not try that action, but if or she would try, they would not be able to do it. And in the same way, could not plus first form means someone tried to do something but he could not succeed. Now or there, the same action could not have plus means someone has not tried for, and here it means someone tried but remained failed. Clear? Could not plus first form. Like I say, he could not have beaten him. Now, even he has not tried. If he would try, he could not beat him. Now, in the same way, he could not beat him. He could not beat him. He tried, but he could not beat him. But he could not have beaten him. He did not try. If he had tried, he would not be able to do it so. They could not have insulted you, and they could not insult you. They could not have insulted you if they had tried, they could not do it. And over there they tried, but they didn't, and they just quit it. I could not have given permission, even if I had I could not have given you permission, means I didn't give you permission. But if I wanted to give, even I was not having the power, right, or authority to give you. But I could not give permission. Here I had the permission, but I could not do it myself. This is the difference between two. Teacher could not have punished you. Even the teacher didn't try in past, but if he would try in past, he would not be able to do it. And teacher could not punish you. He tried, but he could not punish you. She could not have supported her husband. Even she didn't try to support, but if she had tried to support, she could not do it. And in the same way, she could not support her husband. Even she tried, but she didn't. And the same sentences we have changed into passive voice. Meaning is same. He could not have been beaten by him. He could not be beaten by him. And in the same way, you could not have been insulted by them. You could have been taught by me grammar. This sentence hasn't been written. Is to be written. Somehow that is not written and changed for you people. Not the same. And they could not be. You could not be insulted by them. This is the passive. Permission could not have been given by me. Permission could not be given by me. You could not have been punished by teacher. You could not be punished by teacher. Her husband could not have been supported by her. Her husband could not be supported by her. These are the passive of the same sentences which I have written, and I told you difference over there. These are the active voice sentences. These are the passive of the same, and these are the active sentences of could plus, not plus first form. These are the sentences of could not plus first form in passive voice. Hope you got today's lecture. Wish you best of luck. See you next time with the next lecture. Goodbye.